Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Misiak. So today I'm going to go deep and I'm going to do something I don't do really often or at all because I've been afraid of scaring people away. Not like deep crazy like from this podcast, but from the work. I'm going to share something that I do with my clients because real change does involve some work, some heavy lifting. And anybody that's out there, if they've worked with me one-on-one or even in a workshop, you know that you got to do the work to actually see results. You can't just dream it up or sit on your butt and be like, oh, I listened to it, and then like nothing happened. It's because you didn't do the work. And I don't share this because I always, I don't want to scare people off. Because it is work. And then people are like, oh, I have to work at something. And then you don't want to. But if you want to see lasting change in your life, if you want to see, just more happiness in your life and create the life you really want to live, it does involve some work. So I'm going to share something I do with I think almost every single client I've worked with. I've done some form of this. And it's working with parts. So when we're young and, we're babies, we're free, we're carefree, we have no fear, no nothing, we have no expectations, we don't care what people think, we just are free. And we have we know who we are, we're just amazing human beings, knowing that we are amazing human beings. And then slowly, as we grow up, people start telling us different things and we watch other people do things. So people might not even tell us, but we see things. And it shapes how we believe our life should be. And then it creates our thoughts and it has all these things. And then we also form personas, parts of us to keep us safe. So something might have happened in your life where your true self, who knows who you are, needed to be protected. So a persona comes up and is created to protect you, to keep you safe. And I'm actually going to share with you one of the ones I did when I went through the process of learning my own parts. Now, I'm always learning different things about myself because that's what life is. But the one that stuck with me the most, that was oh my goodness, the biggest aha moment I had in my life was this little girl. And she wears this big, fancy sun hat, like a bonnet. And is all in white with white gloves and walking. And she was formed when I was 9.5 years old. That is when my brother was born, and I'm the oldest of 4 children. So he's 9.5 years younger than me. And that's when I picked up a lot of responsibilities. I started making suppers for my sisters and I when my mom was still working and things like that. It was different then. My mom could only take off so much time. I think was it 6 months back then? I know my sister, I think it was 6 weeks. Anyways, it was different. So once she was back at work, I had to pick up some of the stuff. Because of the age difference, I remember, taking him for walks in the stroller. And I even taught him how to ride a bike, or my sister too. But anyways, it was my child. So I have these moments where I come up and it's I even remember... I remember being in high school and I was I'm too mature to have fun. I grew up I shouldn't say too fast, but I grew up fast. And I shut off my channel of fun. I have responsibilities. I can't have fun now. And that's where that persona comes in. So understanding our parts, the parts of us that have been formed over the years, help us to understand where we're coming from, when we're getting triggered, or when we're preventing ourselves from doing something. For me, having fun, I had to embrace that part of me. I had to make peace with that part of me. So it may sound a little crazy if you've never done this and you're what are you talking about? I'm not talking about crazy different personalities. It's about picking up these parts of us that have been keeping us safe, protecting us, doing their job, right? In that moment. And this can be like even from definitely from like abuse and mental abuse or physical abuse of any form can come up for sure. But there's other little things as well that can be formed and you don't even know it. Like my brother being born, an amazing thing. I loved having a baby brother. In fact, like like I said, I took him on walks and I was like, yay, me. Like, so, but a part of me needed to be protected as well. So understanding this though really does help. And it's just figuring it out. And it's not about being mad at our parts. And that's the thing, right? We can be like, oh, why are you here? And like, you can get frustrated at these parts. And this is why it's important to understand these parts and get to know them and figure out why they showed up for you in the first place. Because when we love all of our parts, we can better understand what is going on in our life. What is showing up? Like, why do we get triggered when somebody did this? Or why do we get closed off in this? Why are we having a hard time going after our dreams? And it's really getting to the root cause of what's keeping you stuck. And this is why it's like one of the major things I do with my clients. And it can be scary. And then we work with them, but it can be fun. Scary at first and then fun and freeing at the end. A lot of my clients are like, like you can feel the weight lifted off their shoulders when they can finally make peace with that part of them. It's really, really incredible. So like I said, I was a little nervous sharing this part because I don't want to scare people off. There is work involved. And that's why I love what I do because I can share so much with you here. But working one-on-one and even in my workshops and different things, I get to do the deeper, amazing work that brings lasting change. It's the things that I did when I became an empowerment coach. The work I had to do on myself before I graduated and became a coach. Because I can't coach from a place of insecurity or like deep, like crazy. Like if I don't know what I'm doing, if I don't understand my own parts, how am I going to help other people understand their parts? So it was a really beautiful thing for me to even understand and do. And it is so freeing. So it's just being mindful of when you do something and showing up. So even right now, it's just like sit where you are. And think about like who you are. And then like the moments that you're like, ooh, I wish I didn't do that. Or why did I do that? Those questioning things. Now I go deeper when I go one-on-one. And there's a technique I do to help bring out the parts to work with. But it's just even understanding that when you do something, it's probably because a part of you is trying to protect you. And then it's sending love to that part and getting to know that part. And then I go on like even longer with my clients and stuff like that. So it is so important for us to get to know ourselves on so many levels. So many levels. Because whatever happened in your life, you've different personas have come up. Maybe you only have one or two really dominant ones or one. Or maybe you have like so many that sometimes it feels like you are like on a roller coaster ride because your mood's here, your mood's there. This happens and then you're this and you're up and you're down and you're sideways and all over. So know that that's not who you truly are. But those parts of you have created who you are. So finding your true self in all the personas and then getting to know those other parts that have been formed and come to love them too. Because you are uniquely you, every part of you. And the parts that maybe you're like, oh my goodness, why did I say that? Or why did I do that? Know that there's a reason for it. And it's not about like sugarcoating it, be like, oh, well, that persona made me do it. It's not hiding behind them either, but it's understanding so you can stop beating yourself up from blocking things like romance or abundance, happiness, success. All these things can be working underneath the surface. So it's a time to embrace every part of you, every amazing part, the parts that have tried to keep you safe, the parts that you might not need them anymore, but they're working really hard to keep you safe and possibly small so you're not seen. And it's time to embrace them all so you can love yourself on such a deeper, fuller, amazing level and really, really get to understand who you are and where you're coming from. So if this is something that you have, you're like, what? I want to know more. I always offer a free one-on-one call. It's a half hour, give or take. Obviously, if we're on a roll and if I have nothing booked after, I can go a little further. But it's just a conversation to see if we would work well. If you need a coach, and I don't just pick up any client. One, I only have a few clients at a time because my hours are, I only have so many business hours / I have other things going on. I only take on clients that I know are a good fit, for me and the client, because I'm not just going to be like, oh yeah, I don't just take. So I have a free call because then I can answer any questions you might have. I can see where you're at, what you need help with, and we can really just talk and things like that. So if that's something you're like, yes, I really need a coach. I need to figure out the parts that are driving me crazy, or maybe you've just been thinking about getting a coach for a while, or you've been listening to this podcast and you're like, oh, I'd love to work with her. Whatever it is, work with me. I am here, and you just need to go to my website and book your free call. It's absolutely free. There's no I'll share with you what I offer, what it is, and things like that. But there's no pushing, shoving. If it's not something you want to do right now, that is totally cool too. But it is just a free, non-obligation call. And if I know that, you could use help somewhere else with somebody else I know, I also would let you know too. There's no pushing and shoving, because we all need to win. This is a world where we all need to benefit from working together. And yeah, so that is where I'm at. So if something in this episode resonated with you, or you've been feeling called to reach out to me, this is a good time. This is a time where I'm accepting new clients. I don't always accept clients. It's only every little while here and there. So like I said, I only take a few or a handful on at the most, on at a time. So I can work one-on-one with them. So if that's you, please reach out. And remember, embrace every part of you. Every part of you matters. Every part of you is here for a reason. And it might be frustrating for a certain part to come out and control a situation when you don't want it to. But I think about the part that I have, my 9.5-year-old little girl. She's wise. She's wise beyond her years. And she's been helpful. But sometimes she just wants to play. So I've had to let her go play. And it's really great because then I could embrace the fun side of me as well. So I actually was able to have fun again in my life. For the longest time, I was so uptight and so not fun. And just so rigid. So it is really fun and amazing when we embrace all parts of ourselves. So know that every part of you matters. Everything is there. And these personas are just there to help or have helped you in the past. And it's loving you and them every step of the way. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. I hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now.